Hey folks, this is Sandy Ridge from Sandy's Guitars, and if you are watching this video, my assumption is that, well, this is your first guitar lesson. So thanks for coming along. I'm happy to start this journey with you. I'm kind of looking forward to this. So this video is actually meant to be the first video that, like, you just bought the guitar, it just got home, and you're looking at this thing not really knowing what to do with it. And it's okay. Don't worry about it. Listen, I know it seems like an uphill battle, but you've got this. You've made a really great decision. Guitar has learning to play the guitar and this world. Best decision I ever made. You're going to have a great time. You're going to meet a lot of different people, and you're going to learn some valuable skills. Okay? So, now the first time, a couple of things that you need to know, all right? So I'm not going to get into too much actual playing here. I'm just getting you comfortable with the instrument. That is the entire goal this session, okay? Because you just bought the thing. You're probably looking at it like, okay, what do I do with it now? So, first off, unfortunately, guitar and guitar gear can be pretty pricey. You're probably going to need a few other items, all right? One of the first ones that you should be looking at is a guitar strap, just like what I'm wearing, okay? You're going to need to find one, and when you do, you're going to want to attach it to the guitar, and you're going to want to throw it on. Now, you can play a guitar kind of sitting on your knee like this. Now, if you don't have a strap, that's kind of a necessity, but I got to tell you, a guitar strap is going to help you out a lot, all right? So pick up a guitar strap, adjust it. You want it so that it's, it's sitting comfortably. Like this one here, you'll notice it's coming off of my shoulder. The end is right here. And yeah, I find this very comfortable. I can play all the strings. I can get all these various knobs and stuff. I can use those. I find it quite comfortable. Next item that you're going to want to look into, right here. This is a guitar pick. Now, the truth is, you don't need a guitar pick to play guitar like, a lot of people play with their fingers. And, like, if you're going to be playing, like, classical style music, you may as well get used to using your fingers. But I think for the majority of guitar players out there, you're going to want to pick. Since you're just starting out, I would suggest that you buy a couple different sizes, all right? These are relatively cheap. But generally speaking, I always tell people that thinner picks are generally better for, like, strumming, right? While thicker picks are often a little bit better for, like, individual note playing. Now, I might be a little biased here. Like, I actually use the picks that I use are actually really, really thin. And it comes from my days playing a lot of acoustic songs in bars and pubs. I just got used to it. It actually kind of throws me off when I use a thicker pick. So get a couple different sizes, try them all out, figure out what feels best to you, okay? Now, the other item you're going to want to pick up, if you have an electric guitar anyway, is a patch cord. You see the little cable, the cable that's running through here? This is running from the guitar. Now, I have it hooked up into my computer because I'm doing a lesson, but you're probably going to want to plug that right into an amplifier. You can get a relatively inexpensive amplifier. If you have an electric guitar, it's going to be kind of a necessity. Because, like, otherwise, I mean, if I turn this down, it still makes a little bit of noise, but not nearly as much plugged in, right? So, got a little bit more shopping to do. Now, assuming you have all of that stuff, here's what I'm going to suggest to you, okay? Take the guitar, put it on a strap, and figure out where, using the adjustableness of it, where the guitar fits most comfortably, okay? Some guys like it like up high like this. I've seen a lot of jazz guys kind of playing like this. Okay? At the same time, you might want it kind of lower. Personally, I mean, to be honest, I don't think this one goes much lower. I'm a big guy. Fair warning, your size will kind of dictate the length of the strap that you get. My general recommendation is whatever guitar strap you're looking at, it should be basically your wingspan. Okay, so if a younger kid is watching this or someone who's smaller, you can probably get away with a smaller one. All right? Anyway, so throw the strap on. Should have strap buttons. This one, the buttons are right here. Okay? Often they'll be on like the corner of the guitar, right here. And then there's usually one kind of right at the base, all right, of the guitar. Put the strap buttons on, throw the guitar on, you're good to go, okay? Now, next up, you probably have this thing strapped to you and you're sitting there thinking it feels alien, right? It feels like uncomfortable what just happened. Of course it does, because you've never had this. You've never had a guitar on you before, all right? So here's a few things that you should know to get you started. The way the guitar actually works, the way you play notes, okay, and chords, which like and subscribe to Sandy's Guitars, because we will be getting into that in the next few weeks. All right, I promise. But the way it works is these little metal things that are on the neck, these are what are called frets, okay? And they're actually what we use to kind of number and map out the guitar, okay? So if I play a note up here, like this happens to be an F, G, A, C, okay? You can go up and down. When I press a string down, all right, you'll notice when I press that string down, I'm not doing it on the fret, okay? Because if I do that, it'll make a weird sound. Doesn't sound that great, does it? But a little bit before it. All right? That is actually how we play notes on the guitar, okay? Now that's what your left hand is doing. Assuming you're a right-handed and you're using a right-handed guitar, that's what your left hand is doing. Your left hand is responsible for pressing down the strings at specific places on the neck, while your right hand, using a pick or your fingers, okay, is actually picks the notes. Okay? So, yes, you're going to be building up a lot of speed in your left hand. Okay? It's going to become very automatic. It's going to become muscle memory. All right? But that is what this left hand is doing, is I am pressing down the string at specific spots that are denoted by the frets. And those let me know where each note is. And, you know, I can also press down multiple ones, which makes a chord. We'll get into that in a bit, trust me. Okay, now generally speaking, if I'm pressing one or two notes down, one note, one string, that's a note, okay? Multiple strings down at the same time, and then strumming makes a chord. Into the difference. It's okay. All right. Now, so a lot of the practice goes into this left hand. All right. Just figuring out how to press down a string, how to hold it there, and how to hold it comfortably. All right. While your right hand is responsible for picking notes. Now, when you pick a note, okay, I use a pick. I pretty well always use a pick. All right. You're going to take your pick. You're not kind of like digging under the string and like pushing up. That doesn't sound great either, right? Okay. I'm just sort of gently with the pick pressing it down and letting it go. Very quick movement. So it's not under. Okay, it's over top. Using the pick to press it down and let it go. All right? Now the same thing, that's when I'm picking individual notes. If I want to strum, I'm taking the pick and I'm just pressing them down in order in a fairly quick movement. That's often how you get kind of rhythms on a guitar too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sounds boring, but that's kind of how you start off with. All right? Now, a few other things that you should know about the guitar that you have now strapped to your chest, okay? If it's an electric guitar, you're going to have a bunch of different controls, all right? Now, these controllers are going to vary a little bit, all right? But generally speaking, you have a toggle switch like this one, okay? This toggle switch is actually used to select which pickup is active. So right now it's actually in the neck pickup, which is right here. This is a 3-way toggle switch. Now if I push it all the way down, it's in this bridge pickup right here. Notice that's a little twangier, right? Guitarists often use these different pickups in different pickup positions to actually get different kinds of sounds. I mean, that sound, the bridge pickup, I mean, that's a lot of country music, right? And sure enough, a lot of country music is played in the bridge position. However, if I put it back up, a little bit smoother, right? Sounds kind of bluesy, almost jazzy. Now I can also go, so that was position 1 and 3. I can also go right in the middle, which actually activates both of them. So both of the pickups are active at this point. Okay? Now you'll notice there's these other 2 knobs right here, okay? These knobs are very common that you're going to find on an electric guitar. So this one, on this guitar, this knob right here, this is actually the volume knob. Kind of like volume swells, right? Right? This one actually affects kind of the tone. Now, tone refers to, let's call it the character of the sound, okay? So right now the note is pretty articulate, and I got the tone knob right now. It's maxed out completely. So I'm in the middle. Let's go to the neck pick, or the neck pick. You can hear kind of every bit of it, right? You can almost think of this, it almost kind of sounds like it muffles it up a bit. So that's full blast. I turn it down to about, it's maybe halfway now. The notes are losing a little bit of their clarity, right? If I turn it all the way off, it's going to sound really muddy, really... Okay? It's not a bad sound, it just depends on what you're looking for. I'll tell you right now, a lot of like jazz stuff uses the neck pickup, and it uses the tone knob, usually fairly far down. I'll play a lot of jazz, but it gives you an idea anyway. Let's turn it back up a little bit. But yeah, like so, it comes in especially handy. So if I go back to that bridge pickup, it's pretty twangy, right? If I want to roll back some of that twang, I would go to the tone knob and I'd roll it back just a little bit. So it still sounds pretty twangy, but it's a little less like ice picky, right? Okay. I'm going to turn it back up just because I love it. There we go. All right. Now this is what's called a guitar bridge. You'll notice that the strings go over top of it, and they go over off of these little machines here that you actually, if you look at the bridge, you can actually bring these little pieces back and forth. These are what's called saddles, okay? The saddles hold the string and actually help determine how long the string is. So I can actually adjust the length of the string by bringing it backwards and bringing it forwards. using the screw that is on the side here. All right? That is helpful when we're what's called intonating a guitar. Intonating a guitar actually basically just means that whenever you press down on the guitar on a string, that it actually plays the note that it's supposed to. So open, that's a B right now. It should be a B right here. Just one octave higher. Very nice. Okay? Now the only other thing to look at right here, the other part that you really need to know about, these are what are called tuners. You'll also sometimes see them called machine heads. All right? These, so the guitar string goes at the bridge, it goes through the bridge, then it goes through these tuners, and you actually turn these little knobs, which also helps to tighten and loosen the string. Okay? So essentially, a guitar has to be tuned properly. All right? So I'm at the top string here. That's an E. It's supposed to be an E string. It's pretty close. It's reasonably close. All right? But if I were to take this and move it, it's going to change the tuning. So here, let's just give you an example, and then I'll tune right back up. See, it sounds different, right? There, I'm actually pretty close right there. A little off, but I'll tune back up after a break. Okay, but you get the idea. See, if I tune here, now I'm loosening up, and you'll see it's getting actually looser. And this string, that doesn't sound great, does it? Right? So I gotta tune it back up. Now, you're probably also going to want to buy a tuner, or you can actually just get a lot of apps on your cell phone. Honestly, really doesn't make much of a difference. Save yourself a little bit of cash. Just download one of the free apps. They're actually pretty reliable. I've actually used them in shows before. Okay, so that is the basics of how the guitar, how it functions, how it works. Okay. Now, I'm not going to actually teach you any chords or lessons in this lesson other than how to tune the guitar, which you'll see right now on your screen. There's a little diagram of what each string is tuned to. So the first one we just talked about, that's tuned to E. All right, the second one is tuned to A. It's pretty close. Then the next one, D. And the next one is G. All right, then we're at B. And then the final string, the sixth string, is E. Easy peasy, all right? When you buy a tuner, you're actually going to find as you turn the tuner on, tuners are really easy, okay? You turn the tuner on, you pluck the string open, okay? This was an E, right? The tuner, often if they're a strobe tuner, which most of them are, okay, it's going to be moving around. It's going to show you where it is relative to the appropriate string. Often a lot of them actually automatically detect which string you're actually plucking, okay? Technology's great, okay? Your goal is to get that arrow pointing right up to where it is. If it's a little flat, it'll actually tilt one way, and if it's a little high or sharp, it'll go the other way. So you want to get it right on as close as possible. All right. So for the first week, okay, because like I said, this lesson is for when you just bought the guitar, you just got the thing home, and you're looking at it. What do I do with you now? Okay. Here's what I want you to do, okay? For the first week, couple days, whatever, you're just going to have this thing strapped to your body, all right? When you're watching TV, whatever, you don't even have to plug it in, okay? But you're just going to have it strapped to you so you can get used to the feel of it so it doesn't feel so alien anymore, okay? What what you're also going to do is, just to get your fingers used to the fact of pressing down notes, you're going to watch my left hand, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. And do that for each string. You'll notice what I'm doing is I'm pressing down the string, first fret, second, third, fourth, all right? You're going to use each individual finger. The pinky's going to take some getting used to, trust me on this, okay? But as I do that, you're going to take the pick and you're going to gently press down on the string. You're plucking it. And you're going to do that all the way up and all the way down. What you're focusing on is, first off, that you can slowly get your hands working. Take it slow, start slow, okay? You're just trying to get your hand working, okay? Used to the fact that your hand is on a neck and that you've got to press down these strings. That's also going to help you build up calluses, all right? Playing guitar at first, one of the reasons that some people quit is because it hurts. You're going to build up blisters, you're going to build up calluses on your fingertips. It hurts. Eventually it gets to the point that they're pretty rough, okay? But that's what you're going to do. If you mess up like I just did, it's okay, okay? Just keep going. Ta-da! All right? But you're just trying to get your hands to work in unison. Okay? If you mess up, it's okay. It's all right. Everybody makes mistakes, including me. Real easy. Okay? So, get started with that, okay? If you liked this video, please, I want to join you. I want to help you on your guitar journey. You have made a wonderful decision entering into the world of guitar. It's going to enrich your life. You're going to have a lot of fun, all right? So, Sandy's Guitars, this is the part where some shameless self-promotion. Okay, please hit the little subscribe button. You'll be helping me out. All right, and feel free to check me out on my other social media. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Facebook. Sandy's Guitars. I'll catch you next week. Well, see when I come out with it. Maybe a week, I guess. Okay? But the next video and that one, I'm going to start you on your first chords. Okay? Sandy's Guitars, like and subscribe. I'll catch you later. Take care.